Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yes, yes, now better, yes.
Okay, great. Now I'm just saying thank you for scheduling a meeting with me through howtopassthepmpexam.com.
Yes, I want to thank you too.
No problem. I'm glad to give my time. I'm a project manager for a major international company, and I do it on a day-to-day basis. And I just love helping people to obtain their PMP, and as I have. So, no problem.
Thank you, Jacob, thank you. Appreciate it.
So you had some questions.
Yeah, actually, I just finished the 35 hours course preparing for the exam, for the PMP exam, and
Uh-huh.
I'm already made my application, and it was approved for the PMI.
Great, great.
Yes, but I didn't make the payment yet, and I didn't schedule the exact time for the exam because I'm so confused. I don't know from where I'm just I want to begin my study, begin my preparation. So there are a lot of resources, a lot of online books, a lot of forums on the PMP preparation. I don't know from where I should begin and what is the plan I should give and when I will put my exact time. I want to put a deadline for the exam and then start my plan.
Okay. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this: do you have a formal background in project management? Have you run projects from full life cycle from start to finish?
Yeah. Actually, I'm working as a civil engineer. I'm working on construction.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm working on construction management. I'm so interested in the construction management exactly. I'm about 5 years working in as a civil engineer project. First, I worked as a site engineer.
Okay.
Then now I'm a project engineer in Ministry of Education here in Kuwait in the construction department. And now I'm working. Yes, this is my career. This is construction management is my career. I want to improve my skills in the management. This is very
Okay.
important to me, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
because
No, definitely.
yeah, sure.
So what I was gonna say is then, I've been doing project management for quite some time now, and I took about a month and a half to pass the PMP exam to study and everything like that, and then go ahead and take the exam. Um, One of the things I suggest is that you schedule the exam out 3 months in advance at least.
Yeah.
Um, Everyone's different, you know. One thing I suggest you start off with is taking a prep exam.
Yeah.
Okay. You can find a PMP prep exam. If you go to the website, it's called or if you type in Google PMP Head First,
Yeah.
second edition, they have a website where if you sign up for their newsletter, they'll give you 200 questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one way to get those 200 questions and be able to take that. You can purchase a Rita Mulcahy
Yes.
exam software.
Yes, Rita's good. You recommend it? Rita.
Yeah, I recommend it, but it's expensive, right? Okay, it's like 300 some dollars or something like that, somewhere in that price range. So I personally, if you don't have the money to buy it, don't buy it. There's plenty of things you can do and free exams online that you can take. The one benefit in using something like Rita's software is that it tracks your progress automatically for you. Okay, it gives you reports on how you're doing. So it also break down the questions by knowledge area. So if you just want to take all time management knowledge area questions, you can do that as well, right?
Yeah.
But when you do things like the free exams that you find across the internet, you don't really get the benefit of that. But if you track it yourself, well then you can do that too. So I suggest starting off with uh, taking a practice exam.
Yes. This is
That
number one. I
will
will write down. Yes. Preparation exam for a practice exam for the first thing.
Right. This will save you a lot of time, and the reason why I say that is because it'll show you what areas you're weakest in and what areas that you're strongest in. Okay. and that'll help you to assess what you really need to focus on when you're studying for the exam.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a practice test first.
Yeah,
Then
practice
the rest
test
of the
first.
plan for the rest of the plan for the preparation. After taking the exam, I will begin studying from the first process to the whole 42 processes again, from the first one to the last one again.
Well, let me ask you this: do you have a PMBOK guide?
Yes, I already have a pimple guide.
Okay, so
The fourth edition, sorry, the fourth
have you
edition.
read through it already or no?
I didn't read it all. I read only the notes which they gave me in the course which I attended. They
Mm-hmm.
gave me notes and the pen book guide. So I read the notes, all the notes they gave me, but I didn't read all the pen book guide yet.
Yeah, what I would suggest with the PMBOK guide is starting on page 43
Yeah.
and really trying to understand the PMBOK guide on page 43. The way that it reads is that there's 6 columns. Okay, it shows the first column. It shows all the knowledge areas. The second column shows the first of the 5 process groups. Right. So you really want to start there at that second column. Read down. So you're gonna have in the initiation process group. You're gonna have develop project charter and identify stakeholders.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how you want to read down each column. Okay, so you want to start left left to right. Okay, on the screen it's showing me pointing right, but it's actually left to right, or
Yes,
if you're
I'm
looking
getting
at
it.
me, left to right that way. So, um, and memorize those process groups. I'm actually coming out with an ebook here soon that's going to show you how to do all that. But essentially, what you want to do is start on page 43.
Yeah.
Right? Understand how those processes are together. Okay, and then I would suggest reading the glossary
Glossary.
of the
Yeah.
PMBOK guide first, because what this is going to do is allow you to get familiar with some of the terms that are going to come out of the PMBOK guide even before you get there. So when you come to a term, you already have some exposure to it. So to make it a lot easier as you move through. Now, I don't suggest, you spend too much time on the glossary. Just, read through it, right? It's like 30, I think it's 30 pages. 20, I think, yeah, 30 pages. And so just briefly read through it, just see some terms. Some sticks out to you that you don't know about. Don't worry about it. But then go through the PMBOK guide itself. I would suggest you start at the first knowledge area, which should be integration
Yes.
management, project management. So, because it sounds like you have a decent background in project management, I think you're going to understand some of the basics that the PMBOK guide talks about in the initial chapters. What is a project manager? What is a project life cycle? How does project management interact with the organization? Things like that. You can come back to those chapters and read it later, but definitely start on the knowledge areas because those are going to take you also through all the process groups.
Yeah. Okay, so begin with the page 43 in the Pimple Guide. This is the
Right.
key. This is the
Yep.
most important page in the
That's
book.
the most important page of the whole book. I mean,
Yeah.
because that really shows you what all the processes are, right?
Yeah. Then begin with the first knowledge area to the last one, including all the processes inside, right?
Right.
So I will study from the Pimple Guide, and I want you to recommend me an extra book helping me preparing for the exam. Maybe I don't know, Rita or something like that.
Yeah. So there's 3 basic books, and there's more. There's a ton more out there, but the 3 most well-known books that I've come across is Rita Mulcahy's PMP exam prep book. You have Andy Crow's How to Pass the PMP exam on the first try book, and then you also have the Head First PMP exam book that I talked to you about just a moment ago. Now that book comes from the perspective of lots of pictures, humor throughout the book. They try to approach the book from a learning perspective of how people naturally remember things. They say through humor or emotion you remember a lot easier.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's how it approaches that. Now, Rita and Andy Crow is more straightforward. They do have some things throughout, as each of the books do. Like they have questions at the end of each chapter. Um, little bits and pieces of homework to do, things like that. So, either three of those books will work for you. I suggest you go to either Amazon.com or Google Books
yeah,
and look and just get a preview of each book and see which one you like best.
yeah. Okay. So, after I will get my extra book with the pimple guide, I will begin studying. I will put 3 months. I will make a deadline for myself after 3 months. Uh, I will talk and if I am right, say this is okay for me. I will begin study. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I will make another practice exam, right? So
Yeah,
I can know where is my level right now. After two
yeah.
weeks or 3 weeks, I will make another practice exam,
And
and then
that's something that, Kareem, if I could just say this for a moment, that's something that I think a lot of people don't do. They start the practice exams late in their study, but if the earlier you start, the more familiar with questions you're going to be, because some of the questions are just plain tricky, okay? And I want to give you some more tips before our time is up, but one thing that you want to do is don't worry too much about the equations. Yes, you want to learn them and you want to try and memorize them, but the equations aren't a large portion of the test. Now, you're going to probably face a few of them, but don't get too, afraid or anything like that of the exams.
mm,
And the second thing is the ITOs, or what they call inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs.
mm,
If you start memorizing those as you go through the PMBOK,
yeah,
and trying to really learn those and how they integrate within each process and why they're there, that
yeah,
will make a big difference in the
mm.
end when you're finished studying and you're ready for the exam.
Yeah, I have not to memorize them more to understand
Understand
them.
them.
Yeah, yes,
Exactly.
understand them more than
Exactly.
memorizing. Yes, because it's
Exactly.
crazy. It's a lot of tools and techniques and outputs and inputs. And so this
And
is
then many of them repeat.
yeah, yes, there are a lot of repeating items including. Yeah, this is so. Studying, making practice exam as soon as possible. Um, what else?
So, definitely you want to make a plan. You want to look at what it's going to take you to go from start to finish
Mm,
through the PMBOK guide. Try to build a consistency in your studying. Okay, I would say try studying every night if you could, like 5 days a week. Don't go overboard 7 days, just 5 days a week. Um, and try and read read at least one chapter of the PMBOK guide a week. Now, I would say don't focus so much on the PMBOK guide as you do the PMP prep book you choose. That's
mm.
going to be definitely a great help to you and going to bring out some of the things that are in the PMBOK guide that the PMBOK guide doesn't necessarily full-fledged talk about.
Yeah, yeah. But the reference is a pimple guide. It's the reference for me, and I will use another book as a for practicing for the questions for something like that, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay,
Any other questions?
no, thank you, Jaco, and thank you for your time. And
No
this is
problem.
was very helpful for me, and your site was great.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you.
yeah, this is a creation. This is creation. Yes, this is creation. How to pass the PMPexam.com.
That's right.
This is very beautiful address and very useful. And
Thank you.
thank you for your time again.
Yep. You have a good one now.